He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Imagine a life where you could go through life enjoying every aspect, feeling great, where you wake every single day, you're energized and ready to take on your day, whether it be family, work, or even fun for that matter. I'm Dr. Joel Feeman of New Life Chiropractic in Valulu, Fort Wayne's premier weight loss, lifestyle, and health center. For nearly 20 years, I've had the great privilege and honor of helping thousands of patients to lose weight, decrease pain, and overcome health challenges where people have been able to see transformations in their life. And as a chiropractor, a natural health care provider, my goal is never to diagnose or treat any sickness, symptom, or disease, but rather to focus on building health, to work with the innate wisdom that God put within the body, to get the body to function and heal and express life at its absolute best. I have something that I want to share with you, and it'll only take a minute, and I promise it'll be worth your time. Listen, most people say they want to be healthy, right? But why is it that you think that so many people struggle when it comes to their health? We have more hospitals, more people taking medication, depressed, more heart disease, cancer, diabetes than ever before in the history of the world. That leads me to the purpose of this video right now. The question I have for you is, what is it that you want? What do you want your health in your life to look like? What do you struggle with? Is what you're doing right now today for your life and your health going to be enough to produce healthier tomorrows? And all of these questions seem like they may be common sense questions. In fact, everybody should be asking these questions to themselves on a regular basis. What I find, however, is that most people don't. We've been kind of indoctrinated into this belief that if it's not broke or if I feel good, that I don't have to do anything when it comes to our health. And unfortunately, we're finding that people learn the hard way, as the deadliest diseases in the world today are called silent killers for a very obvious reason. Look, if you're wanting your health to be that of the best possible, if you're wanting your life and your health to be second to none, then what I'm going to share with you in the next few moments is going to be something that I believe can have a huge impact on you and on your families. You see, the word doctor means teacher. And so when it comes to your health, there's nobody but yourself that's responsible for your life and your health. There's no doctor that can do that. Only you can decide what you want your life to look like and what you're willing to do in order to make that a reality. Now, for years, I have been writing newsletters, doing workshops and videos, classes. I've done television programs, radio shows. I've been engaged as much as I can to be able to help people. And although not everybody participates when it comes to their health, the ones that do tend to not only get the best results, but they have the longest lasting, the sustainable results that really you would think all people want. In many of these folks, because they're so engaged with their health, they're always asking for more. They're the ones who read the newsletters, who pay attention to the screens and the information within the office, the ones who are really looking and engaging and trying to be proactive when it comes to their life and their health. So this is what I'm going to do. In an effort to fulfill the vision that I have within my mind and in my heart to empty hospitals and have healthier families in our community, I know it's a lot of work, but I'm going to be working harder now to be able to make every effort, every opportunity I can to be able to help more people. And the way we're going to do that is not just in a continuing manner of what we've already been doing in this community, but more than that, we're going to start to engage more in the online internet world. And the way we're going to be doing that is via emails and videos and infographics and guest speakers and book reviews and blog posts and things of that nature. And please realize, I'm not interested in giving the same advice that everybody else is giving out there. Now, please understand, sure, there's going to be certain things that are going to be similar because we are dealing with human physiology and there's only so much you can do. But the reality is that if you're already happy with what you're doing, then there's nothing you need to change. But in the same sense, if you're not happy with where you are and you want to sustain better measures and levels of health for you and your family, then we have to understand the basics of what health is, how to get healthy, and how to stay healthy. And as we go through this particular journey, what's so amazing when you deal with different people is that everybody comes from a different perspective or understanding. Some people, of course, are more clearly engaged than other people. And so sometimes you'll hear a little tip or trick or a suggestion, and it's like the lights come on. And for one person, it may be common sense, but for somebody else, it's brand new information, something that can take them to a whole nother level when it comes to their life and their health too. Look, I know you're busy and you have a ton of things going on each and every day. I get that. The problem is, so is everyone else who ended up in a crisis and critical state. You see, I hear it all the time. But unfortunately, when I hear it, it's on the other side of that. When people come in a sense of desperation, where their health is collapsing, they already have high blood pressure, their spine's rot and decay, their nervous system's interfered with, perhaps they have diabetes or cancer or whatever the case may be. Oftentimes, because of the adopted belief of our culture is that if you feel good, you are good. Many times people come in after they've already positioned themselves in a way that they have a crisis, in their lives. Well, that's not true healthcare. Healthcare is, how do I care for my health? How do I build my health in a way that I can sustain the life that I really truly want within my heart, from youth all the way up to the point of the grave? You see, it's really quite simple. If all remains the same right now, then you could probably pull out a sheet of paper and draw out how your future is going to look, whether it be in the way you look, the way you feel, the state of your finances perhaps, or even relationships. Because we all know that health is our greatest asset, and it's the one thing that has the greatest impact on every other aspect of our lives. But in the same sense, if your health isn't where you want it, the great news is the potential that we all have is we have the potential to truly heal, truly be well, and live this incredible life where we can enjoy it and do the things that not only we love to do and we like to do every day, but that God called us to do as well. And after doing this for nearly 20 years, I've seen so many different transformations and what I would call miracles in the lives of our patients. And I wish I could say that every patient who's ever come into any of my offices, has had that same transformational type of experience, but the truth is they haven't. But even in those particular cases, the possibility does not change. Some people understand more than others. They make different choices. They engage more than others. The potential is always there from the point of birth to the point of death. The innate wisdom that God put within the body is always there, fighting and warring so that we may truly live and be that expression of life the way He created us in His own image to be able to be. So if you're wanting to sustain great health or to achieve better health than you've ever had before, then I want you to have access to all this, and I want you to have it for free. So what do I have to do? Well, that's simple. Behind me, you're going to see a couple diagrams, and I wanted to show off, of course, my artistic talents because they're so good. But truthfully, I hope you can understand it and make sense of what this is. But we have Valulu, Fort Wayne's premier weight loss, lifestyle, and health center, as well as New Life Chiropractic. And for visual purposes, I want you to do a couple different things. To engage and be able to get all this content for free, the first thing I need you to do for both Valulu and New Life Chiropractic is like us on Facebook. Now, the reason I need you to like us on Facebook for both of those, and in your other social media venues as well, is because there are going to be some times that we post content that is going to be very similar, complementing each other. But in the same sense, there'll be also times that I'm going to put stuff on there that's going to vary. So for example, I may have something on the New Life Chiropractic site that has to do something with sciatica or natural ways to help with headaches, or maybe a guest speaker or something that's more chiropractic, spinal physiology, that kind of stuff. But in the same sense with Valulu, because we're focusing on the same thing, but yet a little bit different angle, we're looking at stuff that might pertain to weight loss or improved lifestyle, maybe something on mindset and the way we think and speak and live and act and forming certain habits and things of that nature. And so you'll want to like both Facebook and social media, Twitter, Pinterest, all that kind of stuff, and be engaged with both Valulu as well as New Life Chiropractic. The other thing is you're going to want to do is you're going to see on the social media, particularly Facebook at this point, that we're going to then share the different stuff for blogs. Now, this is the stuff that as you see these helpful tips, it might be on a food or a vitamin, or maybe a simple way to burn a few pounds of fat, or whatever it might be, you're going to want to go on your social media and share that. And the reason I want that to happen is because we're in a state of crisis in such a big way when it comes to health in our very own community amongst our friends and our families. The more we can get this information out there, the more the lives that you and I have together that we can have the ability to impact. And so we need you to be able to like that and then share it. The other thing has to do with the blog posts. I'm trying to be able to put these things out there on a regular basis of different content in ways that people are thinking, in natural, healthy tips and tricks and things that you can do to apply simple tools, if you will, every single day in your life. And so that's going to be for people who like to read through there. Now, in terms of YouTube, you're going to want to subscribe to that YouTube channel. I'm going to do the best I can to be engaged in trying to make different videos, and we're going to try to post them on Facebook and even link them to our blog and our website and so forth. But the advantage of being liked on these different venues is because then when we do post certain things, it's more easily notifiable for you, so you know what's going on there and you're not missing anything, because I don't want you to miss anything. Now, that leads me to the next thing. Anytime you desire, of course, to not receive this amazingly free, awesome information that can help you and your family to reach a better level of health, that's of course your choice, and we can honor that. That's no big deal. All you have to do is unsubscribe and away you go, okay? But the other thing that most people find helpful is this represents a little file folder. As you receive emails from us, what I recommend you do, and what I do myself, is I create a file folder, and then what I do is I archive those things. So if you find something of interest, maybe a friend or a family member who could benefit from such a thing, you could forward that to them. But then in the same sense, you can save it in a file for a later time, and then as you do that, then you can always refer back to it. And that's really helpful, especially when there's PDFs and infographics and maybe a recipe or a link to a video or something of that nature. You always want to remember that better health equals better life. And what that means is physically, mentally, spiritually, is you have to always keep in mind that your health is the greatest asset you have in this world. It's the one thing that impacts every other aspect of your life and the lives of the people that you love and who love you. And so as you go through, in a couple of things, just remember, you want to make sure you go through for both Balulu, Fort Wayne's premier weight loss lifestyle and health center, as well as New Life Chiropractic, and you want to like us on Facebook. You want to be able to get those notifications, so if we do a Facebook Live or whatever else, you have access to that stuff right away. You want to be able to also share it and encourage other people, so then that way they too together will work on emptying the hospitals and filling the churches so people can get well and stay well. You want to be able to look through our blogs. Once again, share them as you see necessary or see fit with the people you love and care about. Print them out, leave them at people for them to look at work. Go to our YouTube channel. Google's amazing in the sense of not just is it a search engine, but nowadays for people, especially the youth, YouTube is becoming one of the greatest search engines. So it's so easy, where before you'd have to go to seminars and travel across the country to hear a great speaker. Nowadays you can go to YouTube and you can just get resources after resources when it comes to videos and information and so forth. And so we want to become a resource for you and your family as well, and we're happy to do that for you. And then also, once again, just create a file, archive stuff. Once you've forwarded your emails to your friends and family and the people whose lives you want to touch, inspire, and encourage, then at least you can go back. So the cool thing about the journey of life is it's not sometimes the content that we may give to you. Let's say we're talking about infertility or somebody who has migraine headaches. You may never be affected by such a thing, but in the same sense, as you learn these different things and tips and tricks, and even if it comes into your consciousness, a lot of times you'll find in the journey of life there's going to be somebody who crosses your path who perhaps you can change the destiny, the course of their life, or maybe generations to come. Because I know, and maybe you do as well, what it's like to be affected, not directly but indirectly, when it comes to perhaps a mom who had migraine headaches or something of that nature. So it's nice to have this archive, so in that time when somebody asks something, you can easily go back and then find that as well. And just once again, health equals life, and that's what we want for you. I heard someone once say that in order to get the body tuned up, you must first get the mind tuned up. Until next time, God bless. Don't forget, do all the stuff we just talked about. We'll see you next time.